Welcome to episode 86 of the Awkward Tapes, the podcast where awkward friends have awkward conversations about awkward things.
And we're still without the bald man.
Yeah, he
freaking bald.
He is gone now, though. We kicked him off. Yep. So
we tried to get Noah to stay. He said his one stipulation would be if we kicked off Noah, or if we kicked off Zach. So we kicked him off, but then Noah still had to go. Yeah. But we're still happy about the Zach thing.
Right. Yeah. It was just a lack of hair. Like
it really was.
It was not personal.
No, it was.
It was personally against his head.
It was personal.
His bald head.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Oh, well. You ever feel like bugs are on you even though there are just no bugs on you?
Yep.
You think those are the ghosts of the bugs you killed?
Oh. Yes.
I can feel them now.
No, but I do every now and then just think, like, there could be like a fly behind my neck. I have thought about it and just gone like that before. Like just hit the back of my neck just in case.
I get paranoid about that when I'm outside and I know that I haven't put on bug spray or something like that. Then I get paranoid and I constantly do that.
At night, sometimes I think about a snake slithering in the bed with me, and it legitimately scares the crap out of me.
You know what I have thought of?
What?
And this has actually happened before.
Tell me.
This is why I've thought of it, and it scares me. You're on the pot, the toilet, and a snake comes from the hole.
Yes, in the toilet.
It's happened.
It has happened.
It scares me. I'm like, I ain't gonna have a booty anymore.
Florida man loses left butt cheek because of venomous snake.
Yes, I've thought about that. It makes me take quicker dumps.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't stop Presley.
No. Let it happen. He's like, I won't have to sit on the pot for an hour and a half if that happens to me.
I will say, if I go to Florida, then maybe I need to watch out for that. Mm-hmm. But as crazy as Tennessee is, I don't think that would happen here. At least not as likely.
You never
not as likely.
know.
But you never know.
Yeah. Well, is that so funny?
But the thing is, you never know.
For some reason, I really thought you were going to say something different.
No.
All right. I know. I think it's time for us to roll our outro. Just roll the outro.
Just roll the
credits. Right. Thank you for joining. We're done. Oh, yeah, guys. Prepare yourself for a session of awkwardness.
Help me.
Ain't got no booty.
Ain't got no booty.
All right, Presley, you still play with toys, right?
Sure.
He does it every day.
Yeah. So what are your favorites, or what were some of your favorites growing
I
up?
had these little Justice League action figures.
Same.
Did you ever have those?
Oh yeah.
The ones from just the the ones from
the one
TV
from
show.
Justice League.
What happened? I wasn't looking. Did you choke on water?
A stray piece of lint.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and welcome to Top 10 Moments Where People Almost Died.
Woo!
I don't.
What the crap?
What did you...
What?
I was literally talking and I inhaled and I felt like a hair or a piece of lint just hit the back of my throat.
A piece of lint.
I don't think it could do that much damage.
Bro choked harder than the Falcons and 28-3 lead in the Super
Oh, that was a triggering
terrible.
night.
Bowl. Are okay? You're good to go?
Yeah, what were we talking about?
Your favorite toys from your childhood.
Justice League or
You had the
something?
Justice League toys?
Justice League toys. I had that, what'd they call it? The Javelin. Which is from that same TV show.
Was it the toys? There was nothing special about them. It was just Superman and... Yeah, I think
Those for the TV show?
Yeah, I think you had the same thing.
I had the Buzz Lightyear action figures.
Oh, yeah.
Those were cool.
I remember
The different versions.
I remember one time I was playing with those toys, and I had Batman and Joker, and I acted like Batman just punched the crap out of Joker and chucked Joker against the wall, and his head popped off, and I cried. This is my toy. I think my mom ended up gluing it back on sometime or somehow, but
I got one for you.
okay.
Bionicles. Y'all know what Bionicles are?
Yes, but vaguely. I remember the name.
No. So, how would you describe it, Presley? You know more about it than I do.
They were basically they were made by Lego, but action figures that you would piece together. It had like a whole story and different generations of them, and I don't know. There were a couple movies made about it. They had some video games. It was a whole thing, and then they killed it in like
out of nowhere.
2011.
Lego character.
I think it might have.
I've still got a bunch of them. I think
We do.
in the basement that I've just kind of been waiting till they're worth something. I don't think that's going to happen though.
Maybe in 100 years.
Bionics.
No,
Let me look up a picture.
Bionicles.
It's like having the very first like Mickey Mouse toy from
it started
19
as a
whatever.
branch off of Lego Technic.
What is that?
What's that?
But then, how do I explain it? Like little machined parts.
Oh,
Like rather than building, yeah.
I had one of these.
Was that? Yeah,
Yeah, those things. I've seen those.
I've got that one.
Leighton,
I
put up a
remember
picture for the people. Oh
I've
yeah,
got
put it up.
the 6 originals.
Were you actually?
I've got those.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I'll
Okay,
put it
nice.
in.
Because
Because
I thought it
people
was
should know
going to
what
be
it
like
is.
the smoke bomb.
Hey, that was once. There was another time we set a campfire, and I found a very difficult way to put a campfire under us.
You couldn't find. You found a very
remember
difficult way.
But
there was not.
no,
a good
those were a
animated
big
one.
one for me too.
But no.
I mean-
can I give mine?
Yeah.
No.
Leighton said no. Moving on.
Okay.
No. For me, my biggest one growing up was Hot Wheels. I absolutely loved Hot Wheels, which is funny because I'm not a car guy whatsoever nowadays. I'm not even remotely one.
Big car guy.
I don't even know what a car is. But Hot Wheels, those were the best toys. I loved them. I would get a whole bunch of them. You know, you could have different scenarios. You could actually like give them personalities and this or that, or you could just have them do crazy tricks. Because I didn't really grow up with the tracks. I just had the
I
Hot
had
Wheels without the tracks. So I would just create like different scenarios and whatnot for the
Did you
cars.
guys have that early 2000s rug with the tracks and
Yes.
and the I don't know. It was just very colorful.
Yeah, and it was literally just a
Neighborhoods.
rug, but like you could take a car and just act like you were driving on
That
the
was my
road with
track.
it.
It had that weird foam on the back half of it.
Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that in years. I had a toy room, and that always sat right in the middle of my toy room.
Do you think that people's imagination is going to start getting worse? Because, like, when we were kids, we had to just make up the stupidest crap in our minds about stuff going on. Like, these action figures have a story. Batman's got some beef with the Joker. Or, you know, you have literally a piece of a rug, and you're pretending, you know, you're driving through. Nowadays, kids' toys are so much, like, better.
Advanced and-
and advanced. So there's not as much, like, imagination and
You're-
creativity.
You're sounding like my dad to where it would be.
Is that what he
like-
thinks?
Well, no, I was just going to say you sound like the quote unquote older generation to where like, I just grew up with a stick in the backyard and, you
And
know,
that
we'd
was
just
fun.
go out, you know, we'd poke each other's eyes out and we'd do all this.
Throw
It's
rocks
time.
at each other. And
Yeah, we throw rocks at each other and then they're like, oh, these kids with their action figures and their video games and
I
One
guess
of the-
we'll find out one day.
one of the biggest toys was the day we bought the PS2 off eBay.
We split it, right? Yeah.
That was a good time.
well, why'd you split it? It's not going to work.
Yeah,
The cost.
they just took an
Didn't
axe.
clarify, yeah.
Here you go. Here's your.
It's
part.
only fair.
It was the
It's
only
only
way,
fair.
only way to learn how to share.
I don't know. When I was a kid, I could play with anything. Like I remember playing baseball with a rock and just a literal stick. I broke off of a tree.
Oh, yeah.
And there was one time there was like there were softball games going on. You know the park my parents worked at
Yeah.
every summer. I would hang out there and I would just like have friends there, and we were playing baseball with a stick and a rock.
Why?
Uh,
A stick and a rock.
hold
Throat.
on, I'm
My-
so caught off guard, Presley. What are you doing?
My throat was a little scratchy.
So you had, oh Lord, what
I don't even know where to go from here.
what is wrong with you?
I don't know.
This man just gargled water like we weren't on a podcast.
Did you need some mouthwash?
No,
I
just-
swear he's already 85.
My throat-
Like,
throat
just
is
does
a
not
little
care about
scratchy.
anything else around him.
Oh man.
Hey, content. You didn't expect that.
We were playing baseball
Yeah.
with a stick and a rock. I remember one time I swung with the stick and it hit, the rock, and this part of the stick flew off and it hit this bald guy in the back of the head. And we all just took off running, and he started to yelling because he was like, "Whoever hit me with that stick, y'all gonna be in big trouble," and blah blah. And I remember just looking at him and scared for my life because he's probably 6'5", 300 pounds. He was huge.
Oh, wow.
There's nothing like a grown man threatening a bunch of minors.
It was great time to be alive back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can play with anything. My imagination was pretty great. What else did y'all?
My imagination was pretty great.
Yeah.
So anybody else?
You gonna gargle that water this time, Presley, or you gonna just drink it like a normal person? Well, he's gonna swish it around in his mouth.
No, stop! No, don't.
No. That sounded gross in my headphones.
I'm sorry,
No.
everybody.
Sounded gross.
Ooh, can we kick Presley off the podcast?
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're bringing Zach back.
We're bringing Zach back.
Well, anyway, what is one thing you feel like has ruined most people?
Oh. That's out of
I mean-
nowhere.
You like
Is
that
it-
segue?
Yeah, what
No,
a
it-
segue.
I don't understand what you're doing. My God, Presley, are you on drugs?
Drugs has probably ruined a lot of people,
Hey!
including this
Drugs
guy.
has
Except
ruined
for
a lot of people.
caffeine.
But
That's
also,
not a drug of choice.
I know we're on a podcast and we're trying to grow social medias, but is it bad if I say social media?
No,
No.
I feel like social media is kind of
maybe for some people.
For some.
Some people, I think it's made their lives better.
I
Absolutely.
think it's a two-way street to where it's made some people's lives better, but it's also made a lot of other people's lives worse.
Before we started the podcast,
Both.
I didn't really like social media at all. And
Same
I
here.
thought if I start some kind of business or if I start a podcast, then I will have a good need and a good use for social media. But I didn't have anything I never posted hardly anything. And I'm like, what's the point? If I want to send something to one of my friends, like a funny picture, I'll just send that to
Yeah,
them.
that's
I don't
my
care.
mindset, yeah.
I don't care if I get likes. What's that gonna do for me? I'm just gonna but I do get it for some people because maybe you don't stay in contact with everyone and you're like, okay, I kind of want them to see it, but it might be weird if I just
Or
text
maybe you
them.
just have insecurities. And you're using social media as a way to.
Yeah, I think a lot of
them.
people do that.
Yeah.
Get
I
that
think the
likes.
problem is pre-existing. Social media.
Oh,
just
100%.
highlights it.
Oh, no, 100%. Yeah. Social media itself is not the core issue. It just highlights a lot of different issues.
So if you would like to see more of our issues,
So basically I'm
follow us. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube,
Discord.
Discord,
Relay.
the Sunday Paper, Relay.
You know what also ruins people?
Huh.
Too much attention.
That's where you get into the social media thing, yeah.
too much attention.
people
get in
you
their
got-
heads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They
too much
lose-
attention, which then gets into pride.
They lose sense of reality.
especially at a very young age, because when you look at young actors who are just kind of forced into being famous.
Macaulay
you know?
Culkin.
Who?
Yep.
Macaulay Culkin.
Hold on.
He played Kevin in Home Alone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He
you're
talks
right.
about that. How he was just kind of
Thrown
thrown into it.
Yeah,
And that's
I
all
feel-
he knew was fame.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel really bad for the childhood actors and singers and whatnot. The person I've said that I feel really bad for is Demi Lovato, just because she was forced. She was in Barney at how old was she when she was in Barney? Super young,
4?
probably 4. And even on Sunny Sunny with a Chance. I know we're saying the word drugs. I don't know if we can name specific drugs, but she was already, she was already hooked on cocaine.
That explains so
on
much
Sunny
of her
with
character.
A Chance.
So much.
Yeah.
But just I feel bad for her just because it's she grew up in that. She almost overdosed multiple times, and it's or at least once, maybe it was multiple times. I'm just man, I just feel kind of bad for Demi Lovato because some people look at her and she's like, oh, she's crazy, she's talking to ghosts, she's doing this or that. No, I'm I don't know, I just feel sympathy because I'm she didn't have much of a chance.
The first people I thought of, I don't know why. I guess they're fine now. But Zach and Cody, the
They're one of the only childhood
kinda normal.
Disney
Turned out
actors
well.
that turned out
Yeah.
fine.
I think
Josh Peck,
Josh
but-
Peck.
yeah, that's Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. But he does talk about how eventually he really got into alcohol. And he talks about how because when he was younger, so Josh, it was a different thing. He wasn't forced into it, but he I've listened to a lot of like podcasts with him because I love Josh Peck, but he talks about how like he came from like single mom. They didn't have any money. He was a funny kid, and so he thought maybe I can make money off of being funny. And so as a kid, he thought about that, and then eventually he got into acting to make money, and then the fame came with it. And just from an early age, it was. He did this movie. He did The Amanda Show. Then he did Drake and Josh. And then from Drake and Josh came a lot of fame in other movies. And it was just like he never had time to grow up. And so he got to a certain age and he just like was filled with a bunch of negative things. But yeah, that is
It's a hard way to grow up.
Fame at an early age can ruin people.
Oh, yeah, fame and too much attention. No, it's not. I mean, not saying that don't give anybody no attention, but there needs to be a happy medium.
Yeah, and I think it's better like when you get older and you've already like had time to grow up and be a kid, I think it's different. Like you just think a lot of celebrities that kind of got famous later in life, like it can still definitely mess with you, but not the same as like a lot of child actors.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. Yeah, you just look at a lot of child actors and, maybe you love them, maybe you hate them. Regardless of if you think they're good or bad, you can probably say that they're pretty eccentric. Like Shia LaBeouf is another one that comes to mind. I mean, maybe he's great, maybe he's awful. You have your own opinion about him, but he's definitely out there. He's more eccentric. Like his fans and his haters will say the same about that.
Yeah. Well, let me give you a toy that may have ruined people's lives. And I've always thought like this was dangerous. The Easy Bake Oven.
Oh man.
How?
Remember that?
I never actually had one, but I know of them.
You're baking a slice of a pineapple upside down cake with a little 2-watt oven light.
Did you not know about an Easy Bake Oven?
Does it actually function?
It's like yeah. My sister had one. It's like just a little kid's oven, and a lot of them are like it gives you like little recipes you can make in the Easy Bake Oven.
Cool.
You can you can cook stuff in it. Kids.
That does sound dangerous.
This is a kid's toy.
Yeah, that sounds.
And they're cooking things. Well, the company that made them had to recall Easy Bake Ovens twice because several children burned their fingers after getting caught in the miniature appliances, and one girl had to amputate part of her finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that coming.
And apparently since then, the company has since released a newer version with an electrical heating element instead of a light bulb. But I've always like, how does that get out?
You
to
don't let your
kids?
kids do that alone. Like you don't let them cook without supervision, especially with the oven or the eye of the stove.
Oh yeah, from the parent side, it seems like you wouldn't do that either. But even from the company side, it's like with how much people sue nowadays and how big of a deal liability is, how do you get away with that?
Yeah.
Like you can sue over anything. I just recently took a law class, which doesn't mean anything. I'm still dumb. But it's just more proof that you can sue over like anything.
You can.
Like
It's like,
I don't understand.
It's like, we have the potential to make a lot of money off of this thing. Some kids may get hurt, some may die. But we're going to make a killing off this thing.
Hear me out.
Oh, killing.
We're going to make lots of money or killing.
We're gonna make an
Kids might
amputation
die.
off of this.
People
buddy.
might die. Why?
But it makes money.
I've always thought that. How in the world did that toy get out to kids? That just does not make any sense.
I don't know. I know one of the ones that my parents talked a lot about growing up, that looking back on it was not so smart, was lawn darts. Because they would be like actual look them up. They would be actual Leighton, put up a picture. I'm joking. You don't have to put up a picture. But there would be like actual big metal lawn dart. Yeah, there would be actual big metal things. And the whole point is, you have a little ring that you put in the grass, but the whole thing is that you like throw them up in the air. And then, like, you would try to get them to land in the circle. But what would happen is that you would throw them up high in the air. And then what would happen sometimes? It would hit someone, and then it would cause a lot of damage. I think it probably killed some people, too. I think that some people died because of lawn darts. But at the very least, there were definitely injuries. But no, lawn darts were a very serious thing to where it's like, I don't understand how they were a thing. Because nowadays, lawn darts are still a thing. But instead of actually being, like, metal or having a stake or whatever it is in there, it's just like a little round, like, plasticky thing to where it's not going to hurt you if you get hit with it.
Lawn darts killed people.
Yeah.
6,000 kids went to the hospital in the 70s and 80s with related injuries, including 3 fatalities.
Yeah, I was going to say lawn darts it's just like giving kids something
Way too
sharp
sharp.
and pointy and then saying, throw it up in the air. It's not a great idea.
In 1988, they were banned. So
Oh, yeah.
that took them 18 years.
Sounds about right.
About 1,000 casualties average a year.
It took them 18 years to be like, people are dying. Should we get rid of this thing? Is that
It's
good
made
enough
us a lot of
reason?
money.
Yeah.
All about the money.
I know, just that was the main one that came into mind to where I'm like, I know those had to be recalled. Because, I mean, they're obviously before our time, considering that, sorry, we weren't born in the 80s. But,
Bro.
yeah, surprise.
You know what's also dangerous for kids?
Huh.
Just simply going to the playground. It is a it is a hazardous
Yeah.
zone.
I got hurt on the playground a few
Oh,
times.
like,
Bro.
especially like the monkey bars.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I've
I
been
fall
watching
on my back and stuff.
I'm watching TikToks, all this stuff. Everything is metal. And so they'll take like this doll or whatever. It's like show all the ways that kids can get hurt. It's like, whoopsies, hit your head, boom, concussion, hit. Like banging on all of this stuff. Like there's a bajillion ways to get hurt at a playground.
It's so
like
funny that you
bad.
bring that up because I was going to bring that up because I saw a TikTok the other day to where it was like the guy who had a doll and he was like do then like threw the doll like against the thing and he's like, this could happen to your kid, and then the person scrolled and like 2 videos later it was a kid on like a very similar type of playground and they fell and hit their head on the exact same place. It's just like, well, okay then. It's like, wow.
They're dangerous.
Press, did you ever get hurt on a playground?
I've
No,
never gotten seriously hurt.
Well,
Yeah.
I've hurt others on the playground.
He was the one pushing him off the monkey bars.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
gosh.
I would. So there was this thing that people do. They would try to go as high up on the swing as possible.
that.
And jump off and land on their feet. There was this one kid in school. I swear he was doing crack in 2nd grade. I am not kidding. He would either swing so fast that he would go around the top bar.
Wait.
Yes,
No.
this little 2nd grader.
No.
Or he would go as high as he could and do a backflip
No, shut
off of the swing and land on. A lot of times he would land on his feet, but there was one time he twisted his ankle really bad. Luckily, he didn't land on his head. At least I think.
My God.
He probably went there after school and just perfected this thing. Like little 2nd grader. All
in
these
the
girls
world?
think I'm cool. I'm gonna risk my life on the swing
don't
set.
Girls still
Did
have, still have
Huh? I don't
cooties
know.
at that age?
Yeah, girls
2nd
suck
grade?
cooties.
I think so.
It was until about 6th grade that they had cooties.
Yeah. Once you get to 6th
Sixth
grade, then maybe
grade?
not.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 5th. I'm forgetting what ages are corresponding with what age. I always forget the grade to age.
Well, kindergarten I was 5. First I was 6.
In
7.
kindergarten, I was 4. I thought.
Ooh, you were
I
young.
don't remember.
Yeah, because in
kindergarten.
1st grade I was 6.
You know what else are? You know what else are dangerous? I feel like slip and slides.
Yeah.
They
Depends
they
on how you set
can
it
be. I feel like they are the least dangerous out of the things we've brought up thus far.
You know
but
what
they,
else-
They were a
they
lot
can
of
be.
fun.
You know what else is dangerous?
Huh.
Life.
Yes.
You gotta live a little. You gotta find the
You
balance
can
between the
technically
things.
just trip, hit your head wrong, and that's it. That's all she wrote.
Yeah, I could be walking
Well, listen to this.
and die.
Do we have to?
I guess the company that original made them is called Whammo.
Oh yeah, whammo.
Recalled 9 million slides in 1999 after 7 adults and 1 teen suffered neck injuries or paralysis.
Okay.
Wait, is that just a slip and slide?
I thought
A
these were for
slip and
kids.
slide. I guess adults got
You
on
mean
there
to tell
too.
me that the adult got on this super small
No.
slip and slide, probably drunk, and there were casualties?
I wouldn't be. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Little-
makes
little-
slides.
because they're heavier. They're gonna like slide further.
Yeah.
Like little fat kids on that slip and slide.
Sleep and
Like
slide.
freaking
Put you to sleep.
little Billy just over there looking like a bowling
Billy.
ball with kids at the end like the pins. He for sure got a strike on those. Just sliding down and just yeah. And
I'm
then
telling
like
you,
Mama put something on the TV like about the strike and like those little weird videos at bowling alley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know this is a weird. Why are bowling alley videos
Don't
always
know.
the weirdest thing?
I know.
Like it's like because you think of like weird people in art today. Well, not even art, but just like whether in cinema or art or whatever, like a Tim Burton, who's very unique, very weird. I feel like even he doesn't hold anything close to what's at bowling alleys.
Yeah.
Like bowling alleys, I don't even.
There's a lot of memes on it now.
Yeah.
I feel like even if
fake
you're on
ones.
drugs, you're still way more coherent than what
Like,
these bowling alley videos are.
This deformed 6'2" frog leaps from the moon over to Kansas and then licks a brick wall. And then after his slobber clears, it says strike.
That's honestly pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Or like Santa, like Santa, like freaking rolls a snowball down the hill and it hits all the reindeer and makes them fall down or something.
At least that one kind of makes sense. It's dark, but it makes
The
sense.
camera pans down, the reindeer are dead, and their bones spell out spare.
Nice spare.
Something like that. Like they're all so weird, and why? Like just
say strike.
Just have a video of the pins falling down and say strike. You don't need all that extra stuff.
You know, we should have done like a badly explained bowling alley because you go to this place, you can't have your own shoes. You have to get shoes from a stranger. And then as you have shoes from a stranger, you're just rolling balls down an alleyway in hopes that you knock over as many
Sounds
pins
like
as possible.
the activity of a drunk person.
It kind of does.
Man, I remember this one time at the bowling alley. I went with, it was a field trip with people from my school. Like if you made good grades, you'd go on field trips and stuff. It went to the bowling alley.
So why'd you go?
And
Well,
I don't
well,
have
his
good
mom was a
response.
teacher, right?
Yeah. They just, I got special attention. And so they,
Yeah, how we were talking about, it's bad for a kid to get too much attention. That's not the case with Schmeff, though.
No.
He needs as much attention as possible.
yeah. But there was this kid who kept trying to like do weird like rolls with the bowling ball. And he did like a 360 and like, he didn't do it good enough because when he tried to do the 360, he threw it like towards people.
Oh, no.
And like there was this girl like sitting down like kind of like this, just like looking down.
Oh, no.
That I swear the ball grazed her head. It didn't. She was fine,
Thank
but the ball
goodness.
went like that, like right in front of her. And that kid wasn't allowed to bowl the rest of the day.
Understandably, because man, that reminds me of, did you guys ever play Wii Sports Bowling?
Oh yeah.
That reminds me of, like, you would roll it and then you throw it behind, then the people jump to a 360. Wow! It's like that kid's, he played a little too much Wii Sports Bowling.
Your mic's not to your face, Presley. They didn't hear you.
We're on a podcast.
Yeah,
It
we're
helps
on a
if we
podcast,
actually
though.
talk.
Yeah.
What if I just want to listen to your beautiful story?
Well,
I mean, all he said was wow. It's not that important.
no, it's blatant.
Oh, it was
I mean,
essential.
what if Owen Wilson said, wow? Wow.
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 Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Long story short, a lot of people get hurt. So.
Don't let it happen.
You'll be fine.
Long story short, a lot of people get hurt.
So if you just don't go out in the world and you don't do anything, you won't
Just
get hurt.
be afraid.
Be
stay at
afraid.
home.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. Don't
Just
leave your
don't
house.
be an idiot.
Don't drive.
Sounds like. Never mind.
Yeah, you're
All
right.
right.
It does sound like that. What do you think? What do you think is the safest game to play?
The safest game.
There's
Yes.
nothing.
I
But
can't
that's an
read lips.
actual game.
Play Uno, you can get like a
Like
paper
what
cut.
I was
That's
gonna
what
say.
I was
I was gonna
thinking.
say is tic tac toe. Would that be too dangerous? Because you still have
could
like a
stab
pencil.
You could stab
the
someone with a
pencil. You
pencil.
could trip, and then the pencil impales their shoulder.
What about like
Then you get lead poisoning.
What about like
heads up, 7-Up?
or like 20 questions or something?
20
You could throw your
questions?
neck out.
Oh yeah, heads up. You could throw your neck out. 20 questions.
You could
your
hurt
feelings
someone's
could
feelings.
get hurt.
Yeah. Russian roulette.
Yeah.
I always liked that one.
What's the one where you take the knife and you?
Oh my god! Why do
yeah.
people do that?
What's the one on the Grown Ups movie where they
haven't seen
shoot
it.
the bow up in the air? What's that called? Have y'all not seen?
Sounds like
Grown
lawn
Ups?
darts.
Have y'all not seen Grown Ups?
Yeah, I've
I haven't.
seen it.
What is wrong with what
It's been a while though.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
I've
realize that
seen
was the
Grown Ups. It's
movie
fantastic.
of the
It's funny.
lifetime.
You've seen Grown Ups?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Remember they shot the bow in the air and they all just started running and it hit the guy in the leg?
Oh, I've
I maybe.
Hunger Games.
Hunger
Oh,
Games.
Yeah, I've seen.
Well, they should play that game. That'd
We
be
should.
fun.
I think they're playing.
We do it for
Hunger
the
Games.
podcast.
Yeah, we do it for a 2-year special.
Where it's like, alrighty, the bald man is actually officially off the podcast this time.
Noah would win.
Noah would win.
It's like Olaf. I've been impaled.
Either Noah or Presley, because Presley would be prepared.
Oh, but I'm gonna out prepare him.
I've already started training like last year.
Yeah, he
I
knew
knew
we were
we
gonna
would
talk
do
about
Why do you
this.
think all he talks about now is protein?
That's what he's
Protein.
preparing
To be
for.
prepared.
Do y'all
Yeah.
want some protein? Because I'm sure Presley.
I mean,
has
for
some.
dinner, I'd like some, preferably something to go with the protein, but protein as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back and listening about what toys almost killed people.
And which toys actually did kill people?
And yeah, actually
I
did.
hope you've learned something.
I hope you've learned something. Don't buy any toys. Stay boring the rest of your life.
Has the Slinky ever injured someone? I imagine
I
it has.
bet you it has.
It must
It's
have.
metal. I bet you people's fingers got stuck in there or something.
Oh, I bet. Oh, would it then turn to like almost a Chinese finger trap
Could have been.
to where you can't get your fingers
Yeah.
out?
Or you just don't have any fingers after
Or
playing
that.
with it.
Oh, after your Easy Bake Oven experience.
Well, join us next episode where Zach still will not be here. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, he'll be here too. Well, most
He'll
likely
be here
be here
in
two
two
podcasts.
episodes from now, hopefully, unless he's
most
sick
likely.
again or we decide that he's still off the podcast. We just never know.
Yeah, we did kick him off the podcast for 4 episodes. Just he also happened to be sick. That's the story he'll give you.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you, and thank you for joining us for a session of awkwardness. There you go. He did it.